My name is Tom Larsen. I am the CEO of Eloro Resources Limited, a TSX publicly traded company, ELO symbol, also on the Frankfurt, and OTCQX under the symbol ELRRF. We are a publicly traded company, but our background is that of exploration and mining. We are basically an exploration and development company, primarily focused on the Iska world-class silver tin polymetallic discovery in southern Bolivia. We recently have come out with three very solid press releases: November 26th, January the 6th, and January the 23rd of this year. The purpose of these press releases was to present the infill drilling that took place to enhance our eventual economic model, our open pit model at Iska. For those that are unfamiliar with Eloro, with the Iska project, very briefly, we entered into an agreement back in 2020 to earn 100% interest in this never before drilled project, basically a 9.5 square kilometer property encompassing a volcanic structure, a volcanic edifice, with a center being called a caldera, which both was collapsed and resurged over time back in the Miocene period, 12-15 million years ago, when the volcanism of the Andes was first formed, leading all the way up to the Rocky Mountains. The Iska project, a brand new discovery. There have never been modern technology, drilling, geophysics, geochemistry work done on this rather dormant volcanic edifice. We were very fortunate through Dr. Osvaldo Arce, the former president of the Geological Society of Bolivia from 2010 to 2018, to introduce us to this incredible project. He knew the owners, privately owned property, which is all important when dealing in most jurisdictions in South America, because we could have the optionality to own 100% of this project. He was able to bring this to our attention, brought in the Villegas family that owned the property, again, the 9.5 square kilometer property, and they've been fantastic partners ever since. We have spent to date close to $60 million Canadian in a major drilling campaign to initially outline the system, which was basically a never before drilled, again, epithermal polymetallic type of environment that we drilled through. Over 120,000 meters of drilling, and we were able to outline close to 1.15 billion ounces of silver equivalent when we first initiated and then presented the initial MRE in September of 2023. Out of that 1.15 billion ounces of silver equivalent, it takes into account silver, close to 300 million ounces of silver, a large zinc and lead endowment, and at the time, a marginal grade of tin that was totally underexplored. Present day, we come up to today's situation, and again, those three press releases that we came out with basically demonstrated the fact that the grades of the 12-year mine life model, inaugural 12-year mine life model, towards potentially a 40-50-year mine life model, with infill drilling 50-meter spacings rather than 100-meter spacings that were used in the initial MRE report, demonstrate again much higher grade silver. And also in the last press release, we came in with a brand new discovery, a major tin intrusive feeder system just to the west of our first pass open pit polymetallic, silver polymetallic model. This is a total game changer in our minds, in that this particular tin hole, hole 72, again, written about in our press release of January 23rd, exemplifies the richness of the type of tin, what we call a cassiterite, oxidized tin, hosted material, with grades very similar to that of two world-class tin operations on the tin belt, of which we're also located, the Bolivian tin belt. One tin mine called the Choroque, 40 kilometers north of Isca-Isca's location in southern Bolivia, and the second world-famous tin deposit and mine operation called San Rafael, owned by Minsur, in the southeastern area of Peru, which is the tip of the Bolivian tin belt. Just to give the reader, the listener, an idea, this is probably the only tin belt that we know of, at least, in the world. It runs 1,000 kilometers from the Bolivian-Argentinian border in the south up due north and then northwesterly into the southeastern part of Peru. That's the extent of the tin belt, roughly 100 kilometers in areas in width. The strength of this porphyry tin belt is very similar to that of the copper porphyry belts that you see in Chile, Peru, Argentina, and up through into Ecuador. That's a copper, and we are on a tin system. Tin is 3 times the price of copper. Tin currently trades at around $15 US a pound, whereas copper is more like $4 to $5 a pound. Tin's a very small market, 300,000 tons of tin a year produced. Most of that production comes from Myanmar, Indonesia, and processed in China. For instance, the United States have no tin source and consume over 50,000 tons a year of tin. Tin's primary role is that of, they deem it as the glue of metals. It's used in semiconductors, circuitry, many different uses of tin that is very much regarded as a critical metal in today's environment. So if you can come up with a tin deposit with cassiterite, which means coarser grain material, easier to separate from a gravity system standpoint, recoveries therefore result in much better recoveries, 80–85%, with grades of 0.5 to 3, 4, 5%. And when you calculate the value of, let's say, 0.5% tin in a ton of material, you just multiply by 20, you're dealing with then 10 pounds of tin on a 0.5 basis, which trades currently at $15 US. That's $150 value US dollars per ton of material. So we're very pleased that we've come up with this discovery, and our next phase will be infill drilling around that hole 72 tin discovery to enhance, create more tonnage from that new tin area that will be included in the open pit model for our PEA, that will most definitely enhance the valuation of our PEA model.